Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and welcome, Administrator Regan. Thank you for all that you do to make sure that American families are benefiting from clean air, clean water, cleaning up toxic waste sites, and making sure we have a livable planet. We have invested a lot through the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, the Inflation Reduction Act, in tackling so many of these issues. And so you have great responsibility now to follow through on all these. So I have a few questions for you. First, back home in Florida, local communities are thrilled that they're going to be able to tackle modernization of their water and wastewater systems. The Clean Water Revolving Loan Fund now will get investments that we just haven't had before. It'll help us in Florida. Clean water is really essential to our economy and our way of life. But when we had the Inspector General, the EPA Inspector General, in front of the Investigations and Oversight Committee, he said he was concerned that states have the capacity to this, because that's one of the initiatives where those monies stop at the state level. State capitals go through an analysis. They often have their rankings. And folks at the local level are concerned how, are they going to be able to tap these monies? Are those priority lists going to be fair? What do you say to that? How are you working with states and local communities to make sure that these very important dollars for clean water and water systems get to where they need to be?
Well, thank you for that question, and thank you for your leadership in ensuring that we are focused on this issue. As a former state regulator, many of these state environmental secretaries across the country I've met or know. My team is staying in close contact with all 50 of these state regulators. We've worked to redo the definition of disadvantaged communities. We've provided criteria for who these projects should benefit or be prioritized for. And so far, with the spending that we've seen over the past year, the states are getting it right for the most part. They present us with these intended use plans, and we approve them or disapprove them. Sometimes we have to say that list isn't quite right. We need for you to redo some of your homework. But for the most part, we're seeing states comply, and we're feeling pretty good. I will say we've only gotten 1 year, 1.5 years of multiple billions of dollars out. And so obviously we're going to improve this process as we go along.
Are you hearing any troubles with just plain having the engineering firms that are ready, willing, and able? I mean, unemployment is at the lowest rate in 50 years, since the 1960s. Do we have the workforce necessary across the country to repair these water systems and modernize them?
I believe workforce is a challenge. In many regards, we do have the workforce in terms of the repair. Where we see a lot of challenges are operators and those who have the certifications to operate these water utilities that we want to be more sophisticated than those of the past. But I believe our Assistant Administrator, Radhika Fox, has her finger on the pulse and is really working with nonprofits, private sector, and our state secretaries to close that gap.
This is important because we also now have invested in EPA to help invest in our communities back home. And in the Tampa Bay area, folks who are in what we term environmental justice communities, the neighborhoods that have carried the burden of pollution for decades. I can think in Tampa, in the Progress Village, Palm River area, we're talking at the local level now about these are neighbors who are not on septic. Yes. I mean, they're not on wastewater. They're on septic. They still have drinking water wells. They're in the shadow of a huge phosphogypsum stack, and it looks like the EJ grant opportunities are going to unlock the ability to improve people's lives. Maybe reduce their energy burden by doing solar. So now we have. How are you going to view like an EJ grant and greenhouse gas reduction fund and some other EPA grants? Can we stack these and combine them in an initiative, or once you get one, are you don't quite qualify for the next one?
We have multiple streams of grant opportunities that can be leveraged. you know, there are many ways you can categorize these needs. And so if you have an EJ community, by the way, we've created these technical assistance centers.
Yes.
We took $177 million and we gave them to 17 organizations that are helping grassroots organizations build capacity to apply for these resources. And so there's opportunity to apply for wastewater dollars. There are opportunities to apply for EJ grants that tackle air quality issues. There are multiple opportunities for an EJ community to deal with the disproportionate impact that they've seen for generation, and we're building that capacity for them.
Good. Can you follow up on that point, too?
Absolutely,
Thank
I
you very
will.
much. I yield back.